Hello again. Let's have another look at the apostrophe. And we ask ourselves, do I need an apostrophe up? Do I need to leave a gap between the letters and write an apostrophe if I'm writing about something that belongs to somebody? Somebody possesses it. We're going to use a lot of these images to help us think about it. And here's the chair. If we were writing about Pip's chair, we would write the name Pip, and then we would add an apostrophe S to show that this chair was Pip's. If we were writing about this garden and we wanted to show that it belonged to Tom, we would write his name, then we would add apostrophe S. This is Tom's garden. But I'm going to think about a different sort of sentence. This is Mop in her favourite place, the sink. I think she thinks it was put there just for her. And we're going to call this favourite place her spot. Mop's spot. That's our first sentence. Mop's spot. Write it along with me if you'd like to. We have a capital M because Mop is her name. O is O. P is P. And then because this is her favourite spot, we write an apostrophe and an S. Mop's spot. Sp is SP. O is O. T is T. And then a full stop at the end. Mop's spot. How did you get on? I think the football pitch is somebody's favourite spot. This time we're going to write Tams Spot. You have a go. Come back to me when you're ready. Tams Spot. Capital T for Tam's name. And then we add the rest of it with an apostrophe S. Tams Spot. And a full stop at the end. How did you get on? Let's have another look at somebody else's spot, the place where they are happy. Listening to music and, by the look of it, singing along. I would have to say that would be one of my favourite spots. This is Pat, so our sentence is Pat's spot. Capital P, because it's a name. Pat, then the apostrophe S, and spot. Pat's spot. Here is Stan's spot. He likes to go to the play park, especially to meet his friends. Stan's spot. Capital S for his name, and then the rest of it before we add apostrophe S. Stan's spot. And a full stop at the end of our sentence. Now, all of that is quite straightforward. But if you have a name that ends in an S, things can be a little bit different. Inniss is the owner of this chef's hat, and he likes to cook. That's his favourite spot, cooking, making meals for people. Inniss, capital I, and in the word Inniss, N is written with a double N. But you can see that his name ends in an S. We've written the apostrophe, but when we say Inniss's spot, it sounds like sizz at the end, or sometimes ziz, Inniss's. And some people like to add the apostrophe S as well. This can be a point that is debated, but both of those ways of stating that something belongs to somebody whose name ends in an S are correct. It's just that the apostrophe all on its own is used most often. Inniss's spot is definitely in the kitchen and cooking. That's where he feels most at peace. And the very last apostrophe rule we're going to think about is when we are writing about something that belongs to either one person, or here we have an ant, one ant, and we're writing about an ant's spot. Their favourite spot is their nest. They wouldn't be favourite in my house if I found them. So their favourite spot is the nest. And here we have written it the same way we wrote a name. Ant is a naming word, so we've added apostrophe S. But if there was more than one ant, and there usually are, we would write ant with suffix S, the way we do, and just an apostrophe would go at the end of it. Ants. If we are writing about something that belongs to a group that is more than one, we add suffix S and we put the apostrophe after it. We're going to be practicing that a lot more. But for now, here's our sentence, and we're going back to adding an apostrophe and then an S because the name doesn't end in S. Mop sat in Tom's spot. That's our sentence. Have a go at writing that and come back to me when you're ready. Mop sat in Tom's spot. Mop, capital M, sat in Tom's. So we write his name the way we normally would. Then we have an apostrophe and an S. And this is his spot. And I hope he doesn't flatten any of the flowers. And I can hear a dog. That's my dog. And I think she thinks, well, I'd get in there with Mop. Maybe we could have a good game. I hope she's not thinking about chasing Mop away. Well done today. There's a lot to think about. and we will be covering it in the next few lessons to make sure that you have got the hang of these different apostrophe rules. Thank you for joining me.